remake the world as a digital simulation, really, to digitalize, to steal life. It is an anti-life program. It's moving from carbon-based life to silicon-based life to a digital twin of the world that they can control, that is disconnected from spirit.
I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to war with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. In the bright glow of the dawn, I see myself clearly, bringing in a new day. The old way of doing things is done. I don't care what you say. Monsters don't sleep under your bed. They sleep inside your head. And if you haven't done the shadow work, and left behind is where you stay. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the street. We got protect plus homeschool. Our babies is a must. They not just no moms, but also no pops. These worshiping pedophiles wanna feed our children's spirits to robots. Turn all of us from carbon-based to silicone-based. Should be where the shit show stops. Get back to doing for ourselves. Water system irrigation and grow crops. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to work with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. I'm saying I'm not some master teacher. No, am I some pastor or preacher? Was released for president with this passion to speak up. After doing 25 years in the beast cuffs. Realize they tried to teach us spiritual, mental, physical diet. They tried to feed us the fire of our ancestors resides in each of us. With that, I'm inspired to turn this heat up. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to war with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets.
We're really approaching almost like it's a Frankenstein moment. And they're framing it to us as, innovation, right? We should all be so excited that this is happening. And, I equate it to like the Golem, bringing in like these robots. They would like to feed our life force to learn us in every tiny detail, not to empower us, but to actually transform us into a robotic simulation that is under their full control.
What's going on, bro?
Nah, bro. Come on. You almost there, bro. Almost there. Survive. Go ahead. What's up?
I do it dance for Chi-Town. Who am I but Chi-Town? You young fool, I'm too fly to just slide down. Blue sky but high ground. My crown slash helmet. So my aircraft stealth spit. Can't be tied down like even seat belted. I look down, I see green like a Celtic. My heat pulverizes, the cheese is melted. The remnants of cash money, I dispelled it. You did the fusions in my eyes, I beheld it. The finger fucked, it caused my hand, I dealt it. Felt the vibrate from the gut of my pelvic. The bust off of some ices and velvet shit. So radiant, I keep a dark room well lit. Cause you little goofies are well quick. Body for real, marquee velvet. Body you not for Mars, use a female's clip. As a kid, all I did was fight. I did the bit with a knife. I know I can spit my flows to shit. To a fly zone, haters wanna crucify a real man. I still stand with the still a hand, but we're Hiller man. It's not Cypress Hill, I'm Tuttle Sheep. I'm one tough cookie, I don't follow our set standards. Catch me, you gon' have to do more to scam. Need more to scanners, I'm off the radar. I am as you goofies play God. Some worship the Christ, others pray to Allah. Chase a high, drink paper or bruh. You stagnated while I straight evolve. At a rate, I'm dated space AC, y'all. Buster stuck in the cage. bases face off. After the shape, the state is a fake, a fraud. Battlestar intergalactic, my mindset. Perfect comes from practice, so I rhyme best. I excel like I'm climbing a step. You got a lot to learn. I am adept, you of no concern. I am a threat. My measurement, width, lift, height, and depth. I'm just piloting up. Flying a jet, straight to adversary. Martial Chronicles like Ray Bradbury. I'm a thorough guy, goddammit. Symmetric apparel of a fly bandit. Mohawk, aviators, aerodynamics. And it's like I'm an arrow in precise transit. A Christmas Carol lies what your fans get. Your worlds and pearls what I transmit as a transcript. Or I just spit it off the top. It's either shit or get off the pot. This shit's hot.
Wants to get his own crew. Everybody wants to get his own crew rich. And then they want the other little people never get a piece of the pie. I don't want to go for the best. I go for you niggas that think that y'all big too. I understand this. That's why you niggas and crackers can't stand me. You niggas just know that I know you can't do nothing if you're broke. Listen to me, young people and old people too. Mostly black people. I'm talking to you.
So, y'all really thought that I was done with y'all? Nah, I'm really down on y'all. Fellas up. We not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fact, yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, Big Mac, whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. Enough with the chit chat. I see through the side ops. Looking past the sci-fi. Third eye gang cyclops. I don't eat pork, but I will fry cops. For foes, my heart's cold as an icebox. I'm saying that ops. From the skybox, I got scope on you pilgrims. The scope with some real ones. Some of our folks are still dumb. Deaf and blind to the fact that blood, we gon' have this real some warrior spirits inside me. That's where it's real from. The world's a stage, page after page, script is played out. They keep us engaged, placate or rage. This is played out. Rules of a dying society should have been disobeyed out. Forehead and knees off the floor should have been prayed out. The draft is on, COVID's no issue. Coulda bloated in tissue. Now it's control who blows the whistle to who holds the pistols. The debacle's about who owes who the fiscal. Disregarding the aboriginal issue. We're not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is bound or wet. It's a big fact. Yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, Big Mac. Whether earth is brown or flat. We want our shit back. A fool is known by his speech. Yet if I don't speak, I suffer defeat. I'm other than we. A sucker on me. Stand on 2 feet. One from the other cheek. The wise man known by his silence. Mostly disguised compliance. Silence by guidance. From conspiring to novice. Other aspirants of violence. Tyrants of fire. Trying to advance to height. I'm sure and defiant. And environments and migrants, I'm hearing the sirens. Ring in my ear, they've got indictments. These pedophiles, queers, groupies, and hymen. Alignments, the assignment. I'm not the wisest, I'm non-client. A refinement and confinement and requirements for this climate. Y'all push all the paperwork, or y'all can protest, but they can't escape this work. I vow to progress, don't duck, no wreck. Drill music for real. My soul they don't possess. Real foolish with no deal. Ain't playing with none of them. It's personal, know what the business is. Big Mom says come full circle, so vacate the premises. We're not going back and forth about this or that. Whether you're
What's up, baby?
There's a big thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna start uploading stuff for members only. I got like 3 videos because you can't be affected. You know, y'all can watch and share it. But like I said, I got 3. I want to get like 15 and then start uploading them. You will see it, but you won't be able to watch it. It'll be for members. Listen, I want to make sure.
A feeling that this prosperity isn't something on which we can base our hopes for the future. And yet our government continues to spend $17 million a day more than the government puts in. You telling me we gotta go?
Yeah, I got 3. I might have 5. But I know I made one last month. I didn't upload it here. Because they asked me on Q&A2, you wanted to go members. I forgot. Like, I had like, I don't know, several, 8 members. It's something new. I gotta get my laptop. It's right by, I was in the sauna and oh man. So I'm gonna bring a laptop, look it up. I'm gonna go ahead and connect the Patreon with this as well.
Breaking free of the number of years they saying
Get it done.
me from the stoop of a small band density, meant for me to stay asleep upon re-entry. This quarter of a century was done, now rent free. This AM I chose to give an awareness. This square biz don't stand up only because
I got a splint in my hand, bro.
Some males don't know etiquette should be in real men. Some fail to grow and develop, still children. I'm filthy and I'm still
I just pulled a piece of wood by that damn bomb out of my hand, man. It must have been when I was playing, you know what I'm saying? Damn. I had a splinter in my damn hand. Yeah, we gonna. I had some people mention something about y'all can't be Indian.
Once I was red as basic sex, amazing. Could care less if you
I hope that individual decides to keep on in.
So you spit the message, pushing you off the edge of the cliff.
Boy, that's why I invited all the incubator and cabbage patch children. Not the ones that we send apart family who aren't ignorant. The ignorant ones, it seems like the last bastion of some of the dumbest races. They can't get it past them. Like their existence is short. It's because you got a bunch of just because you got a bunch of fake ones running around with a fake government who ain't trying to do nothing to make things right because they're listening to these idiot things. So we're gonna give some information. Like, you know, I use the term Negro and all that very loosely because most people know about the Negro term, but when nobody's Negro, when nobody's anything. You know what I mean?
Of the righteous don't want to get me stressed. The less we stress from sin, the best view. Clear the rear of Jesus and mesh in the hugs of my nephews and dear nieces, Jensen, Camille, Heaven, Sandy, Joseph, Evan, Layla, and Maryland. Imagine laid up in a caravan. Imagine way up in the air and staring down upon American land while haters look at disdainfully at space faces up glaring. Could care less about politics, how sharp he spits, how hard he hits, the dark it gets. Yes, the zone I'm in, volumes of tones from rock, unnothing. And I'm gonna show you your titles of no significance. The so-called 5 civilized tribes, then the cries, a rifle full-blooded of the indigenous American makes me a sovereign God, man. You ought to be honoring instead of attempts of cognitive indoctrination and past doctrine. Philosophy encased in the land of non-sergeant. I got the hand of God plus her inner voice. The plan of Asa versus the sinner's choice. Over 20 years since I started this journey, my target, the turnkey, I departed this with an earned degree in theology. Psychologically, these marks cops to me. Agent, provocative, ops, indeed, believe. They got your every move under lock and key, but I rock every groove like it's a hip-hop beat. Bloodline passages, practicing my doctor's creed. Physical examination, even proctors bleed. My luminous mind rages sharp with speed. Cut a chop, butcher's block, watch smart sleep. Policy and procedure got you operating robotically. Apostrophe between
He ripped that.
atrocity. Dead between
He
a
ripped
hard
that.
place and a rock. Awkwardly for your apostasy, you popped an apology. It's oddly amazing. Could care less if you approve or hate. Your approach to reason isn't logic to me. Your delivery is unsound philosophically. So please, you've gone too far with your hypocrisy. How they handle you, you might as well squat to be. Check it. Let me stress, I'm no longer the property of. I know hunger got that. You can't stop me, shove. Flow younger, the old wisdom of the Yah. He above, I'm more stronger. Show my sons that supreme godly love. Amazing, could care less if you approve or hate. I'm thrice blessed, this suggests approves, it's grace.
And my music, and a lot of this music, it's only talking about the suppressed rising. I mean, the oppressed rising up against the oppressor. That's all. That's what my music's about. The oppressed rising up against the oppressor. So the only people that's scared are the oppressors. The only people who could have any harm coming to them are those who oppress. Simple as that.
3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, me no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, me no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, me no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, me no surrender. It's time for a change, gotta bounce up. The oppressor's about to get tossed up. I'm a like house, execution styles too late for the apologetic claim. You wrapped in a coca flame, by God, it's overdue. Your time is to the end. Locked out silent without sin. He put me on the better for justice to win. The oppressor's about to get rolled down. With suppressors attached in the war zone. Revolution can start in the Arizona. I'm a messenger pocket like Farrakhan. Backed by the honorable who sits at the pinnacle. Who judges the hypocritical, cynical, and the plentiful sinful. My thinking is critical. I'm just better late of the actions of the protective service. Quick to pull the Glock blast and kill. This don't take any type of skill. I'm ill of all citizens who haven't took a stand. Or kneels too late when the caps get bills. Don't believe it, GC type. Going hits close to home. You gotta act the bone, but it got the dome when it's on the zone. All red of my vision through sight. It's gonna be killed whenever I fight. From above, I'll be given the right. So you better be ready to ride tonight. On the way to the dawn daylight. We gon' let them all, so gon' pass the kite. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, me no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, me no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, me no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, me no surrender.
This world
my
is
lion's
such a,
mane.
and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a gimme, gimme, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, if you taught that from school, everywhere, big business. You want to be successful? You want to be like Trump? Gimme, gimme, gimme. Push, 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 push. Step, step, step. Crush, crush, crush. That's how it all is. And it's like, nobody ever stopped.
Nah, what's up, Ed? What's happening? What's happening, fam? It's good to have y'all. It's good to have you up in here, fam. Nobody else wants to speak up, but I appreciate the likes, though. Appreciate you again, Wavy. You already know. It's gonna have to do what I gotta do, and y'all can share it. It's not gonna be long. I'm just gonna read them all. I went to the sauna. I was in there for like 20, 25 minutes. I did the heat one. I went to get into my cold water plunge. I got to put some silicone. The cap wasn't all the way down. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna seal it. I can release the water out there. There's a pop off one, and then there's one on the side that you can actually hook something up and flip it up, or it's on and off to dump it. So I'm just gonna put one of my water filters from the hose and fill it back up. But I'm gonna probably go down there and grab one of my clear silicons that I have for up there. I gotta buy a whole bunch of more of those anyway. So we can have the water integrity, you know what I'm saying? And I'll probably put a little bit around it because I don't have any 2-part or RTV, or silicone. So I'll use that. It's got a cap, so when it comes to that, it'll be the first one to use. I was getting ready to get in there because I was sweating. I went in there with just my Everlast, my jiu-jitsu shorts, right? I was in that mug like a stuck pig, man. You know what I'm saying? But anyway. We still have a lot of light-skinned folk that are having a hard time accepting us being who we are. And they really think that all these light-skinned folk running around playing Indians and the fake 5 civilized tribe and all these other, and the Mongolians not knowing the history. When I've been telling people, America, U.S., not America, the corporation bought, this is what's funny about this war with Ukraine and stuff, but bought Alaska from Russia, which is only 55 miles away. 55 miles, give or take. There's islands out there too. You don't know nothing about this on a map. I've been out there. So 55 miles. If you got a schooner or a fishing boat, you can go to Russia and, you know, a few times in a day. All right. And they left everybody there. You got to look at the agreements that were made. You know what I'm saying? But you got a lot of white folk here. They just is complacent. You know, some of the Hindus, they say some of the greatest things, and some of the greatest philosophers, the Hindu philosophers that I listen to, and they always get to this point where they say, why are human beings so frigging stupid? And they were talking about the European, okay? The ones who claim to be Europe, run with that epitaph. They don't know real history. If you was to go to any of them, right, any of their grandparents and say, can you go back 3 or 4 generations? They can't. I've done it. They cannot. They think that they got you, they call you a minority, to which you're far from. They have to have this mentality because everybody will feed energy. You know, you look at those idiotic teachers and professors, those black ones. I'm using the term very vaguely, all right? They'll push this because they're inundated. Now, are there some of them that came from the Cabbage Patches? Yes. I have 3 videos showing them when they were creating the New World. They used to take them and emulsify them. I'm like, yeah, get rid of them. Incubator babies, the ones that were selected to nurture, to be over. Yeah. Okay. How many? I don't know the numbers. The majority were light skinned. All right. And then those who had conquered the other lands, who were sadistic, they had pretty much, like peasants, enslaved them or indentured them. And those are the majority that were coming here because they knew that with the new babies getting to a certain point, that because of what they've done, they would make sure that these babies would carry that same torch. A lot of these light-skinned folks don't even know how ignorant and why they're so ignorant. Okay? So we're going to pull up some facts, okay? First of all, this is what the ADO, or whatever you want to call these parasitical organisms on our soil. We all, and I know I've been saying this since high school, there is no Christopher Columbus. You know, they always said, was he Portuguese? First of all, they always push this by 1485, which would be 4th century in true time. And we know that this is not factual. They say Salvador Fernandez Zarco was 37, and by the order of the king, he changed his name to Cristofon Colon and departed to Spain. Lie. That's all new. Once we started putting out the real name, all right, Salvador Fernandez Zarco, well, you know, that's what they do because they think they can do whatever they want. But most light-skinned folks and a tenth of these Negroes running around, yeah, they're still pushing Christopher Columbus. Even that's a made-up name. It ain't like they couldn't teach you how to pronounce it, because our ancestors spoke many languages. I know mine did. Education system made sure that you would speak one language. How many of you had great-grandparents, if you was to sit down and be honest and ask them, or sometimes slipped up and you ask them, they spoke patois, French, a little German, sprechen die Deutsch, you know, Spanish, a plethora of ours. And nobody, and all of a sudden, all our people don't do it. Now I go to New York or Philly, or a place like that, that speak Chinese. I think it's Cantonese, or not Mandarin, or something like that, or one or the other. Compared to the true ethnic group, to the latter manipulated language. But here you have Ms. Jane Elliott, anti-racism activist, educator, recipient of the National Mental Health Association Award for Excellence in Education, and internationally known for her blue eyes, brown eyes exercise. You all have seen that video. Miss Jane Elliott has spent her entire life denouncing bigotry, prejudice, and social inequality. Miss Elliott is a true hero and a light of hope for all who dream that one day no one will be judged based on their skin color or difference. Now, why do you think she's been allowed to live so long? Because the Mossad would have killed her. I don't care if it's the CIA, whatever you want to call them, would have killed her a long time ago if she didn't put in African. But you are very aware that that is not even who the melanated people over there. We created the West Coast. That's not even who the majority of them are. That's a Dutch Creole word that applied to light-skinned folks and never applied to the masses of the first segregation from fake Europe, Sicily, Italy, and all that. And France, Scotland, and Ireland, which most of them ended up in the Cayman Islands, you know, and Jamaica, and Haiti, and Dominican Republic, Cuba. All right. Victoria Adelaide, what started your interest in making a mankind? Jane Elliott. My father said, never judge a man until you walk a mile in his shoes. If it hasn't happened to you, don't criticize somebody for responding the way they do to something that never happened to you. He also said, never judge a book by its cover. We all know the George Orwellian factor, based on what I've been sharing with you, and probably some others now, that history has been rewritten, docked and rewritten. But you have this insatiable appetite with this fictional whiteness, this made-up construct, and it's recent. All right, that was pushed during the World's Fair. Nowhere did it exist before that. We say, people want to say the 1700s. Well, it really they didn't exist before. They didn't exist in the 1700s. So-called white folk, which would be the 7th century or the 8th, if you do that little goofy stuff they do with their math. Okay. You want to understand it first before you start complaining. You don't know what the hell that person has lived through, and until you know how that person has lived, you don't have the right to judge her or him. He also said his mother forced him to go to Sunday school until he was 15, at which point he refused to ever go back. He learned that you judge not, lest ye be judged. He used to spout Bible verses to us, and we thought, well, you don't go to church. What's your problem? Then I realized that what he was doing was telling us how to live a moral life. That was about as far as he was concerned. Okay? So, I would tell black people, Jane Elliott, July 2nd, 2018, Jane Elliott, I would tell black people that what I tell people all over, to all kinds of people, that blacks were here first, the first modern human beings. Now, we know the terms human, we know the term black, we know this wasn't even official until like around 1950 or 60. We know in Australia they used to call the dark people, they went over there to genocide blackie, you know, with the straight hair and all that, and some of them with the curly kinky hair, right? We know that it was a marginal line between the ignorant, those who have been reared and nurtured, right, by those of the Zionist narrative before it became a thing with the Jew narrative, that these would be the ones that will fight the wars, and they would be so-called blacks as well, that most people are very unaware of, because they think like, no, they were brought up in the incubator and the cabbage patches too. You'd be surprised to know that there are some, and they know who they are. Okay? A manipulated bloodline, yes. All right? People have a hard time with that. And then you can go to, of course, Santos Bonacci. When you look at San Francisco, New York, all the cities, Chicago, they were built by the indigenous people who were black and Indian as well. Black and Indian. One and the same. Not to make some other thing. All right? The black people, they are the original owners of America. Tiamat, Tamu, whatever you want to call it. Turtle Island, whatever. Okay? Those are my ancient stories that are not ancient as you've been deposed to. Okay? not paying for you. Now, North America, kidnapped on our own land. Excuse me. Now, this is a PDF. You can pay $1. You can get this. Are you the JB who wrote James Branch, a case study of perceptions and experiences among African American males? Yes, I am. Anyway, yeah, and that's me on the side. I did write that in college. Anyway, is that ego? No, I'm laughing because y'all really don't know. The large Negro population on the coast of South Carolina is quite different from this here described. The mayor of Beaufort says the town is remarkable for quiet and good order. It is unlike who we are today. For 20 years past, not a single individual has been killed or seriously injured in any disturbance within the corporate limits. Corporate limits. All right, so you would have to go back and see the handbook of South Carolina. All right, that is the statement of the mayor of Beaufort, and the Beaufort is perhaps the blackest spot in the whole South. That is to say, the Negro population predominates more there than anywhere else. There is a peculiar historical fact connected with that town that I would like to mention to the commission. That is the place where the federal troops first set the Negroes free. It was done on those islands in the neighborhood of Beaufort, and they are now there the predominant race. And we know race is a construct, and when nobody was set free, POWs, and they were freemen. And this mayor refers to them as a quiet community. A most peculiar thing is this quatrephage in his book on the human race asserts the fact that the African lived on these islands long before the discovery of America by Christopher Columbus. He is high authority, and he says that the Yamasee Indians were Negroes only, like the Seminole, what were known afterwards as the fiercest of the Indian tribes of the South. The well-known Yamasee Indians were African, which they weren't, because the Chickasaw, the Choctaw were part of the Yamasee or the Yama Nation. Just like the Cree. They weren't these Mongolians talking about we don't want the Negro freemen here. Freemen mean they weren't slaves. They weren't of African descent, because even the old Kentuckian, what's his name? Cassius Clay, aka now Muhammad Ali, may he rip, right? He was going to restaurants just like Cornel West said, and that they told me I had to leave, but the Africans can go in. So you can always check out Carlos Cuervo Marquez, early African inhabitants in America, okay? Because they wanted to denounce that, and you know who? Obviously, it's the idiots, the ones that run around, call themselves Zionists or whatever, you freaking frack. All right, we know Theodore Herzl, and all those monkeys came over here before the World's Fair, and they were met by, and they had, before every World's Fair opened, there was a melanated family. They had to let them see everything, because they knew that things were going to be destroyed. That melanated family, the heirs, some of the true kings and queens of this land. We already went over Abe Lincoln. I asked y'all to go watch the movie Holiday Inn. 1942 or 1, whatever. Bing Cosby playing Abe Lincoln, blackface, with that goofy woman. I think she died early anyway. She used to stink. Playing Abe's wife. People have a hard time dealing with this because they like the world that's been given to them. It's not been given, nothing's been given to them, because the idiots is taken away from you. And they're going to get rid of you because you're too ignorant. You're engrossed in the world they created. They did that so they could subjugate you and say, well, we own you. Just like when everybody went and got the ooly oop, the ouchie pouchy. Y'all, we have been hospitable. We have been more than nice and pleasant. We have been more than decent. What happens when that changes? See, they think, oh, I'm you ain't gonna be able to do a damn. We don't hate no Chinese. The Chinese were called black right along with us. The Japanese, on the other hand, were called white. Chinese really don't have a problem with certain ignoramuses because of how some of you Negroes act in California and Jersey and places like that. They look at you acting like less than what you are, and I wouldn't respect you either. I'd probably feed you some cats and dogs as well. Because y'all like being stuck. I watched, what's his name, with the Young Turk, Richie, what's his name? I shared a couple of his videos. He's another part of the problem, some frat, cute, whatever, Kappa 5, whatever, Roland Martin, goofy stuff. You know, they get in a position, that's why they do it. But now he's going hard on the police. He better hope he don't go to some club somewhere. Well, I hope he don't drink. You know, catch him out there slipping. You know what I mean? Because they want to walk around in fiction, and they need you to walk around in the same fiction. And there's a whole lot of light-skinned folks. When I was talking about light-skinned people that were here, the Giants, they were albinos. My brother Scott Wolf, yeah, the one from Slab City, lives over in the Carolina, South Carolina, Evergreen. They look like him, red hair, big, like my boy Popcorn. You know, big, man. The genes are still there, and they could be in the sun. That's who they had some foreigners hunting down and trying to kill. Some of them diverted because of certain things done. You know, magic's real. All this is frequency, knowing certain sutras and mantras. They were powerful. Our clans of albinos were powerful. It's like the ones in Haiti who were singing and chanting. And the first troops were collapsing and the teeth falling out and they're going blind and dying right there on the field of battle. They didn't look like you. That's the white race. That is not what albinism. This is what the fake, why they hide everything, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't want the truth out. I'm not here to hurt nobody's feeling, but you know what? If you don't know how to research simple things, simple little things. Here, let me let you hear this. Well, that's one ugly chick. Good gracious. Dang it. She's ugly.
They just go into a country and then take over their buildings. New York was already there for thousands of years. San Francisco was there for thousands of years. Los Angeles was there for thousands of years. They were built by the indigenous people who were black and Indians as well. The black people, they are the original owners of America. Black people, African Americans, they were already here and they played them out. And they stole the Smithsonian Institute, which is Jesuit controlled.
Jesuit controlled by the Vatican.
Stole their knowledge, stole their history, and now we're just left wondering who we are, where we come from, where we're going. We don't know anything.
A lot of our people hid because of the destruction and the death. A lot of weapons y'all know nothing about. See, y'all don't even know that, you know, in the 1890s, there was little motorcycles, little tiny motorcycles that we had created. They had to learn, we had to teach them how to ride them that were battery powered, that can get up to 70 kilometers an hour. We had electric cars that nobody could drive. Oh, yes. Oh, they were there. They had to destroy them. We invented the blimp. I mean, we made the gas-powered motor. It worked on Ethan. You didn't create it. That's why I be laughing at Elon Musk and all these idiots. Talking about going outer space. No outer space. They're still trying to find a way to penetrate. You have 2 centuries of this dome. Fishbowl operation, you know, Operation Fishbowl. You individuals, my light-skinned brothers and sisters, you having a hard time getting past the reality of the situation. That's why y'all fighting war, even with each other. They had to manipulate it and get you to do this. You can free yourself, but you're not going to do it listening to other people like you. I mean, look at it. We created rump booty shaking, Jamaican dance hall and everything. And now you got the light-skinned woman. She got a class where people go and learn how to shake their little fannies. You got a whole lot of light-skinned folk and Latinos running around, want to gravitate to that Ashkenazi bloodline for their fair skin and their hair, as if that's something good. That's what denotes and makes them less than who they are because they got a big booty. That's the magnitude of our modo operandi. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is now. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a real disease. I actually had a brother from so-called Africa who reached out to me and says, you know what, I was talking to my mom. You know, he's a little old like me. She's still alive. She's like 78, 80 years old. I said, what she said? She said, oh, she let me know that we came from America. They hated Marcus Garvey. You know, a lot of people went over there, hated them because they had to fight. Our people had to go in there and fight. They whooped killed a whole lot of folk off, man. It's like the Seminoles down in Mexico. Killed a whole lot of indigenous people who had a different bloodline, a little bit of us, you know what I'm saying? And the other ones, they killed a lot. See, they don't ever talk about that because this is how sick they are. The world. Light-skinned folk don't know nothing about that. They know absolutely nothing. It's not hate. Rain's coming up. Thought it should be supposed to have rain earlier, but yeah. Oh, there's more. Who's the news reporter on Fox? Pushed out the first president, George Washington. I mean, we ain't talking about moving on up, good times, George, Louisiana. George Washington wasn't some pale skin like Abe Lincoln, Abraham. You got a lot of cops who over there killing a whole lot of folks, come back over here running around rampant because they got that bloodlust and they're harming their own people and our people. That's not going to last long. You would think that they free themselves, but there's some men inertly jacked. Maybe they can't be freed. I mean, it's just the way it is. You know what I mean? The goofy government know it. They know it. An absolution. They laugh at all these idiots playing us. They laugh at them. You think that sickly, beastly thing called the Pope, he laughing too. All of them laugh. I'm probably a little scared now, but yeah. All right? They're all liars. They're no good. They're not even an extension of you, brothers and sisters. Okay? Someone broke them. Y'all running around broke because, you know what I'm saying? It's unnecessary. All right? I just wanted to make it short. I won't be on for long. All right? I want y'all to share this. It's not about bashing people. It's either truths or they're not true. There's plethora of more information, written books we already know that alludes to this fact. Shenanigans, right? Earth speaks. Ask them if they can say that. That's not new. I know, because I know some other people had to hide at one time because we killed a lot of folks. We killed a whole lot of folks. So I know my family. You know what I mean? That's in our blood to do it. Nah, it ain't in the blood. That's the energy, that righteousness. It's not because we need pain and suffrage. We don't need nobody's blood and all that crap. We don't need energy from that. That's stupid. There's no morals behind it. The moral is in the situational awareness, the fact that we've come this far. It's not like we haven't been watching and studying enough. All right, so the reality is, stop playing and arguing with people who don't know nothing. They're They're inconsequential. They don't mean nothing if they choose to be nothing. It doesn't matter what they've been nurtured into and what they believe. We have a lot of brothers who are light-skinned. We've always had different shades. And then we had albinos. We had Twa. Okay? We had some bigum folks too. All right? And a whole lot of folk running around conflicted. You ain't supposed to be nobody's experiment. You ain't supposed to be nobody's citizen and all this other crap. And you're not some name on an ID. That's what these idiots are so stuck in. Procedures and all that other goofy stuff. All right? First, learn and know who you are, and then learn who you really are. Okay? Relearn. All right? Step back into your truth. All right? There's always going to be idiots out there. Okay? Be mindful of that. And don't put yourself in a situation unnecessary. All right? I'm going to make me a sandwich. And I appreciate y'all taking the time to listen to old fogey like me. Hey, PD, Big Red T, what's up? What's going on, beloveds? What's cracking? What's cracking? How y'all doing? Anyway, let me get off of here. The sisters, I don't know where they at. My brothers, you already know. All right? And this is for our light-skinned folk, man. We got those who are part of our tribe, man. Respect them just like we respect one another. All right? Because there are those who are meaningful. They have meaning. And you have those out there, they better get it together, man. Because the enemy is not who they think it is. And it shows that they're lucrative in their superiority of stupidity. Anyway, keep y'all later, all right? 432 Drop got one. Tremio got a couple I had to catch up on. Because I was actually watching his down there, and I had the phone in there, man. I hope it stay working and it ain't get too friggin' moist. I was good. I put it out like the last 5 minutes in the sauna. But anyway, I appreciate you guys, all right? And I'll see you guys in the AM.